Hello and welcome to the channel. Glad you could join me for this inbox kit review of the Valentine Mark VI Canadian built early production model tank. This is in 1/35 scale and it's by MiniArt. And it does include 5 crew figures with some main gun rounds. And this kit number is 35123. And MiniArt has included 2 frets of PE photo etch for us for the kit. And this kit was released in 2011 with new parts for this kit version. Let's take a look at what MiniArt has provided for us in this kit. We'll start with the instructions. Now this is a booklet type of instruction manual. And on the front cover we have the first version of the tank. This comes in 2 different versions. The first version being the Canadian Tank Training Unit, Borden Camp, Ontario, 1942. And at the bottom of this page we have our chart colors for the tank. That's on the left. And then the chart colors for the figures on the right. So we don't want to mix those up while we're painting the vehicle for sure. These charts do cover Vallejo, Tester, Tamiya, Humbrol, Revell, and Mr. Color paints. And on the back page of our manual we have the second color scheme and decal markings for the 5th Guard Tank Brigade, 20th Army, North Caucasus in the summer of 1942, as well as at the bottom we have our 5 figures with our parts callouts for their assembly and painting. Now just inside the cover is page 2 that has our sprue map, as well as our callouts here for our instructions such as make 2 pieces, do not cement, optional, so on and so forth there. And also the sprue map is marked out in gray areas on the parts that we do not use in this version of the tank. And at the bottom of course we have our 2 PE frets. Now we're just going to take a quick look here at our assembly instructions, and I'll go through each page, but there is a little bit of peculiarity here with the MiniArt instructions. Such as you see here was a step 6. There are things in these blocks where you do assemblies and then it's referring to the step above, so you kind of got to keep a lookout for that to make sure that you get your sub-assemblies done in the right order, and that's assuming of course that you're going to follow your instructions. And I'm laughing because I often don't necessarily follow the order that we're supposed to follow. But you'll see this throughout these instructions where there are assemblies that are indicated by arrows. Just kind of follow along with the arrows. Make sure that you review these instructions carefully so that you know what assemblies are coming up and when you need to put them together. Now they're not terribly confusing. You can follow along pretty easy. And one thing that I will say is MiniArt has done a fantastic job on the graphics and the location points where each of the parts go, as well as their orientation. So if you look closely at the diagrams, you'll be able to figure it out pretty easy. MiniArt has a reputation for a lot of detail, and some people say that it's overcomplicated. Here we're looking at step 23 with the exhaust. There are 11 parts just for this muffler and exhaust pipe. So there are quite a bit of detail in this kit, and as we get into the part sprues you'll see that the detail is really fantastic on this kit. Now one of the things that we need to bear in mind is that there are parts included in this kit for a previous version, so we have to pay special attention to the parts callouts to make sure that we're using the correct parts for the Canadian built version, early production, so we don't mess things up. Alright, so when we get to our sprues, MiniArt has bagged everything into one big bag, and then they've broken that down. Once we open this first bag, we find that there are other parts that are bagged as well. Now there are two different colors of sprues here. The darker ones are the additional parts for the new release. Looking at sprue A, now this sprue has our upper hull on it, and there is a small issue with it. As you can see here, it is kind of bowed and flared out. That's going to be an issue that we need to take care of right away when we start to build this kit. So I'm working on a plan to take care of that. But the detail is really nice on it. You see how crisp the detail is? You can see the rivets and the bolts and everything. It's really astonishing how much detail they've packed into this part. And I'll just be quiet and let you see the detail for yourself here for a minute. And our next sprue is sprue B. There are two of these containing our road wheels and support rollers and suspension components. We'll take a look at these real quick. Our next sprue is sprue C, and there are parts on here as well that we won't be using in the build, but let you take a look at that detail. Now for sprue D. Now part number 2 on this sprue is the left turret section half that we're going to be replacing for our version. So this sprue really doesn't have a call out, but I think it's included with sprue D, and it is our fender end flap cover thingies. And next up is sprue E. Now these are our figures and also our rounds for our main armament. Here we have sprue F. Now there are 5 of these, and this is our track link sections. Well, actually just the track links. And these are the only track options that comes with the kit. Item G is our lower hull, and this is a semi bathtub style. We still have to install the front and rear plates for it. Here we have sprues JB. There are 2 of those with our road wheels that are going to replace the standard kit part. JD, which is the side of the turret that we're replacing, the left side. And then JE, there are 2 of those for our idlers, and there are 2 of those as well. And the Canadian version has the can style headlights, which we're going to be using on this version. Next up is the photo etch, and this will be the exhaust guard and a light guard, as well as some brackets and stuff for like our jack block. And a quick look at our decals, or decals, depending upon what side of the pond you're on. Now these are awful white, so I hope you can see these. Now they are really thin. As you can see, you can tell that you can distinguish the texture of the paper underneath. So that's what comes in this MiniArt kit. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment on what you think of the kit. And also, if you are new to the channel and you're not a subscriber, but you like this kind of content, go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss another video as soon as I post the next one. Special thanks to all of my subscribers currently. It's because of you guys that I keep making these little videos for you to see. So stay safe, keep modeling, and I will see you in the next one.